You are gold. Do 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 do. All right. Yeah, no more singing for me. All right, just kidding. ABX October 26th. I had this in an embryonic stage 2, and I'm going to deep dive a little bit more of the facets of interesting tidbits about this ABX Barrick Gold and what it's happening with it today, guys. All right, where are we today? We're in December. Time has moved on. October. Where was my October candle? Let's zoom in. This one, October. So I had it embryonic stage 2. Maybe the price was starting to be here above the 12-month average. Wasn't quite ready yet. The sellers came in, brought it back down. But guess what? The price action stayed above the 12-month average, making it flat. So instead of having a downtrend, you have a neutral. And after that, if the price action stays above, then it starts angling upwards. And now the price action for December, guys, is above that monthly defined breakout line. If we get a close above this breakout line, and you see, sometimes you look at the chart and there's even some more resistance right here, another level for a bigger pattern. If you get a close above, where is the open? 1830, a close above 1750, then you're in business, guys, for measured move. Okay, here's a less greedy of the measured moves. Add it to breakout line. So my first target is going to bring me all the way to 2170, 2160. And if I consider this to be a bigger pattern, more greedy pattern, further away target, if we get that close, my target is going to bring me all the way up here. Not super duper. My target considerations, I would actually lower that target just in case we hit some resistance right here, which we might. Just make sure you exit. So that's how I do it using my classic chart trading framework. But the swing rule is one of the components of Stan Weinstein on the weekly. He used to do the swing rule to estimate potential length of the stage. He wouldn't necessarily exit on it, but it gives you an idea of what to expect from the stage, from how far it's going to go in. Sometimes it overshoots these targets, even for longer, especially if other patterns emerge, and those patterns give you further targets along the way in your direction. Then your stage analysis techniques permit you to stay in that ride for as long as possible. But classic chart trading patterns, measure moves, it just gives you additional clues. Where's the direction? If I have a target that's in direction of my stage analysis, then the weight of evidence it's pointing all towards that. It's like those are like my two frameworks I'm using on different time frames to increase my chances of having a successful trade. But you could reach out and you could check out let's say Next Big Trade, or you could check out stageanalysis.net, or anybody out there on the web that has a similar stage analysis type framework. And you could compound their findings, their studies. And when everything aligns, then you know that you have increased chances of having a successful trade. All right. So that's pretty cool. So that's my monthly higher trend, still going upwards. And the more the price action stays above, the more we're going to get momentum going upwards for Barrick Gold, guys. Okay, let's head on to the weekly. Ichimoku Cloud defined resistance. We're still in it. So in October, we were back here. So we had to fight through this Ichimoku Cloud defined resistance. We're hitting that monthly defined resistance, sideways move for many weeks. That's why you don't enter too early. But on contracting volume, look at these candles here. That's a very good sign. Here, contracting volume. And now we're starting to get increasing volume. We had increased volume right here on that close above that monthly, weekly defined consolidation pattern. We're still hitting some Ichimoku Cloud defined resistance. You see the price action this week was all the way up here. getting brought back down here. So we're almost out, guys. And that, see, it's the monthly defined resistance. We couldn't see it here. It kind of overlaps, kind of the same zone as that upper boundary of the Ichimoku cloud, but you can't really see it, right? If you look at the weekly. That's why always go on the higher time frame, draw the lines, and when you zoom in on the weekly, you'll still see those lines and say, okay, that's why the price action is getting sucked back in. I'm hitting some monthly defined, important, higher trend defined resistance. And then after that, you could expect a bounce, price action go back down here, maybe a bounce off that monthly defined resistance, turn support, and after that gives you a chance maybe to get out, exit out of the cloud. If not this week, maybe a few weeks later, and then you're out. And remember, the more the price action stays above the 3-week average, the more it's going to start inclining, and then you have a stage 2 breakout, guys. Hopefully, it would be pretty great. Is that volume Monday, Tuesday, really, if the volume could pick up. If you close above here, you want that volume to really jack up and get a twice the average of the previous 4 weeks there. That'd be great. Weight of evidence. What else am I looking at? Overperforming the SPX. It's been doing it for a little while. And after that, you have that green overlay. Price action above 30 moving average. 30 moving average inclining. Check, check, check. Stance triple confirmation is the volume. That's what's missing, guys. So what about Barrick? There's a cool thing about Barrick, and I compared it to the SPX, but the inverse SPX. And what I've noticed, right there. Okay, let me put some candles. And you see the correlation, even better. Favorites, correlation, SPX. All right. So for the past, since this summer, and really late August, the correlation of the SPX and Barrick Gold has been almost 1-to-1, guys. All this period here. So you see it's starting to pick up here. So inverse correlation. But now since I flipped the SPX, you're actually seeing the chart. You're actually seeing the SPX inverted. Look at that price action. SPX goes down. Barrick goes down. It's flipped. So if the SPX goes up, Barrick goes down. And same thing here. So right now, if you want to hedge, if you want to play short the SPX, you think it's going down, then actually playing Barrick Gold is the same thing as shorting the SPX. As long as this correlation remains -1, then that is exactly what you'll be playing if you're playing gold. Right here, you can see it, right? SPX going down. If SPX breaks down, then Barrick should break out. If Barrick breaks out, the gold miners break out, that means pretty much SPX will be breaking down as long as this correlation remains intact, guys. So that's a pretty cool facet. I don't know what's the reasoning behind that. Is it a hedge fund starting to realize that they're starting to position themselves in gold because they're expecting something that's going to be happening? I'm not quite sure of the mechanics. What I'm quite sure of is the price action and my usage of stage analysis. And I love reading. I love checking out the reasons why things happen, bonds, anything related to the underlining of the theme that could explain the theme of current price action or future price action, recessions happening, inverted yield curves, all that. I love it. But I can't really trade that, and I can't let that influence me if it contradicts what the chart's telling me. What the chart's telling me right now is the SPX is forming a top pattern on a borderline breakdown if ever it closes below monthly close below 2630. And Barrick Gold is doing the inverse of the SPX. So if ever I get confirmation that I'm out of the cloud, that I have a monthly close above that final breakout line here at 1840, if I have the volume on the week candle when it breaks out, if I'm overperforming the SPX, check. I could be buying ABX, and for me that's a stage 2 breakout, and it'd be almost the same thing as shorting the SPX. So it's kind of cool. And all right, Barrick Gold closing in. I'll try to keep a tab on that and see how that progresses. If we're going to need a few more weeks here to get out of the cloud, very possible. So keep an eye out on Barrick, guys. Stage 2 embryonic breakout. All right, thanks for listening, guys. And please subscribe, really appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for watching.